please watch the entire video all the way through. That is such a support. Like, comment, and subscribe, because without you, there's no me. Peace and blessings, family. Sister Ajali. There's something, it's already here, but the intensity of it is about to be just astoundingly awful. And I've done my best. There's no fault on my efforts to alert as many people as possible, which would have been successful if not for the various operatives, and the biggest one being the white man who runs these platforms and hires this just global force, legion of covert operatives to distract us and to invest in our minds that there's some inner division going on between black men and black women. So all of these persons have been quite effective at limiting the range of my warnings so that not just me, but others could also take me seriously. Now, that said, I have to thank Sisters Gwenby and Celestia Danes for providing me with this share. Now, I could not do what I do without their help and the help of all of you who just keep me aware of what's going on this planet. And this one is horrifying. The sister Gwen B shared this particular one where it was a link to the Reddit site. Damn, that's interesting. And I find it part of the narrative of what's being shown here is that the post was removed by the moderators of Damn, That's Interesting. I don't know why. I do not want to get up here and pretend that I understand the reasoning of each and every single person on this planet, because I don't. But at the same time, I don't know, maybe, these moderators take stuff down on the regular. Maybe there's infighting between them. Or maybe there's more than one. Maybe they just were told, possibly, by someone, please take that down, because that is getting folks looking and investigating and wondering why. And so two-headed sharks are sighted more and more, and this is astounding. No one knows why. That I can pretty much analyze to a T. Of course they know why. When you get the books about man-made radiation, you fully understand that this is a military strategy that is on the books. You are not allowed to discuss the particulars of man-made radiation under penalty of death. Now, I've watched this particular share, I don't know how many times. I've shared also different imagery. This is a military film that covered the examination, the just aftermath of the bomb in terms of the bomb drop on Hiroshima, in terms of its devastation and its impact. And what is really just absolutely fascinating in listening to the narration of the film was how focused they were upon the trajectory of the radiation, where they would just stand. I want to get the image of the soldier. They would just stand, and you see he's got his little book here, and they would literally measure out and look at the shadows to determine where the radiation fell. I find it extremely ironic that they were doing this using the soldiers, but they often use their soldiers as guinea pigs. This one was really just disturbing, where he's on a bridge that was impacted, and you can see here there's a little bit of darker where the impact of the bomb blast and thereby the radiation seared the pavement over the bridge, but this concrete structure didn't allow it through. Hiroshima is pivotal in establishing for them why they needed to drop the bombs higher and higher. And I didn't know, I'm grateful for the information that was in this film, that they actually began dropping the bomb higher when they dropped Hiroshima, which is reportedly the first use of the atomic bomb on living beings. Now, that's not true. The first bomb test was conducted on, principally the target was black men in Port Chicago. It impacted lots of white people too, but that's the way that those dudes are. But the first bomb test was attributed to Trinity, and no, that is definitely not true. But going back to this, here you could see where the window blast, the bomb blast, blew the windows out, so the bomb burst on the other side of this particular building. And here, I almost forgot to go back to this. You see this soldier is standing in the shadow of where a human being was incinerated, vaporized, because that is the shape, the legs, and the head of whomever, could have been a man, could have been a woman, was standing right there when the blast came, and just, they were just gone. And so they were actually out there gauging the impact. And in other subsequent videos, government military videos, they'll mention real quick the ingestion of radiation and how that's a slight bit different than the way they've measured everything based on Hiroshima, where you get a one-time high dose, which will liquefy your organs on impact, and in subsequent days to weeks after that. And that's how they measure everything now. When they fully know the danger of swallowing radioactive material is like swallowing an X-ray machine for every single atom that you ingest. This diagram, you could just tell by the style of it, it is from the same era. So this is like, we went to the moon, but we can't go anymore because, there was a fire at NASA and we lost all the, data on how to build a rocket ship to get back out beyond the Van Allen belt to the moon. So I guess that's the reason why these dudes are talking about this all over the place, all the dead, dying, mutated creatures, and yet no one knows why, and they never even occurs to them to mention Fukushima. No, don't do that. Let alone all the other nuclear facilities peppered throughout the world that have been poisoning us since the moment they industrialize nuclear fission. And so this two-headed shark story Yeah, they're saying, oh, yeah, they show up in mythology, two-headed animals, and in the movies. And we've heard a weird thing or two. How about millions? You could go and look up the children of Chernobyl who are mutated beyond belief if they haven't taken those pictures down, right? And then you could look up the mutated, depleted uranium babies of Fallujah, where the U.S. Army was ordered to shell 1,000,000 rounds of ammunition into Fallujah every single month. I would say that was deliberate. They were testing what would be the outcome. I theorize they have been shipping radiation directly to Africa for decades and decades, because there are mutations in that people who are the purest people on the planet, devoid of any Caucasian blood whatsoever. And yet there's horrifying mutations going on there that I don't see happening to the level that it's happening there with diasporic black us all over the world. And so when they say here, two-headed animals, yeah, they show up in mythology and in the movies. And we heard a weird thing or two after nuclear disasters like Chernobyl. But that's it, isn't it? They leave you hanging with that. Well, no. Apparently, more and more two-headed sharks are born. Now, they're saying all over the world. But I'm finding as I read this article, they just mean one particular spot. And they're saying scientists are only guessing why. You ain't a scientist then. You're what Rosalie Bertell said. You're a paid operative who you know you aren't going to get any funding for anything. And I don't know why you need funding. Do you really need to be living in a McDaggone mansion? Okay? It just makes no damn sense why you want to lie and hate yourself. No, you're a freaking coward your whole friggin' life. And you're going to be part and parcel of the destruction of the only damn planet that we have. I have too. Without this planet, ain't no me, ain't no you, ain't no any of us. Okay? That is just pitiful. I don't understand that kind of mentality. Serial murderers have just become like the sweetest persons in comparison. So let's just see where they're saying this is all over the world. I'm not saying it's not. But so is nuclear, okay? And Fukushima went everywhere, but there's a pattern, a trajectory. In 2008, long-line fisherman Christopher Johnson was fishing in the Indian Ocean about 200 to 900 miles off of West Australia when he hauled aboard a pregnant blue shark. When he cut open the creature, he discovered a two-headed fetus inside. I theorize they've also been shipping radiation to India. Very brown people. I would call them beautiful, but they hate their blackness so much. I don't include anybody in the ranks of the vaulted blessing of being black, and you can't stand it. Okay? You just nothing but a swirler for as far as I'm concerned. But at the same time, to the white people, you sure way too black for them. Because they've been, you two-headed baby in the womb of a blue shark? Go see the 2, 3, 4, 7-armed, I don't want to call them monstrosities, but I know the moms aren't happy to see them babies, right? Who are mutated beyond belief, happening in India. But India is a place with so much mythology that they can be thoroughly taken advantage of and poisoned, and they'll just think it's, Kali or Shiva or whichever one. It's the Caucasians. That's the one that you need to be looking at saying, wait a minute, no, I only have one planet too, right? And so the scientists confirmed the discovery of a different two-headed bull shark fetus off the coast of Mexico. Now, this happened in 2008 with the two-headed blue shark, but as I said, there you go. They didn't discover nuclear fission in 2008. They've been chemtrailing the planet for decades, ever since they realized that stuff was heating up the planet. Now, they put all sorts of crap in it, but it's primarily that nanoparticulated aluminum is to tamper down the heat, the ambient heat from the gamma radiation that comes off of every single atom of radiation. It's hot. It's as hot as what you find in a supernova. Only it's, spread out around our planet, but they ain't talking about decreasing it. Oh, we got to shut down these nuclear facilities. No, they just try to hide it with the chemtrails. And so the other sighting actually occurred a few years later in 2013, around a year after the deep water, talking about the damn oil spill. Okay? There's oil spills all over the place, but you got to see that pattern. They'll talk about everything, but they don't talk about the radiation, which by law, they can be assassinated for even mentioning. I'm just saying. And so all of this, especially recently, as they said in the headline, has been happening more and more, and nobody's mentioning Fukushima. While another phenomenon that I've been talking about long before the thing that they've still brought out their tyrannical censorship to make sure nobody pays attention because they want us thrown off the path of understanding what they've done to our planet, where, you got a ready-made excuse and folks are trending, looking up sudden adult death syndrome. And I thank Sister Celestia Danes because she gave me this tip to look up, even though I had seen it before, but it's a lot of work doing this. Please support your warriors, right? Donate, buy my books. I wrote them so I could assist you in rescuing yourself. But you have to take those actions and trust and believe. Ain't nobody taking those actions. I'll have the soap soon enough, but as I say, doing this takes a lot of time. And I have to be here in this time because I ain't no ways tired. And these people are trying to make you think that the devil owns our peace, and no the hell he don't. Okay? Heaven is ours at our command whenever we defend it. Right? And so I was writing about this long before any of the crap that started. And I started out with the two-headed shark because I know he didn't pony up at the doctor's office and roll up his sleeve. Right? I've shown, especially on my Instagram account, the seals that are all dead. I've shown here, talked about the starfish. I think that's one of the videos they talked down. They're all gone. Starfish pretty much extinct. They didn't go to the doctor's office. Okay? And they're all starting, that's the pattern, National Oceanic Atmospheric Agency video. Nobody talks about this. And this is just 2 isotopes that came blasting out of Fukushima, and it's never stopped. And the more research I did, the more I found out that I had attributed the amount of hell that was deliberately exploded. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been happening on 3/11/11. Okay? These people are spooky as hell. They're all into that repetitive number stuff, right? I wouldn't have not understood just how deadly this stuff is, because they've been talking about that tritium water that they're going to pour into the ocean, and then I finally found the definitive study. This paper is just incineratingly damning for the legend of how harmless tritium water is. And it is in those containers, which I pretty much theorize it's not in those containers anymore, because I've been studying this since the very day it happened, furiously, where when they put those containers together, there's no linings in them. It's just metal. And they hand screwed them together, the giant tanks on Fukushima that carry on and on and on. They don't have this. It's been barreling radioactive water into the Pacific Ocean, according to TEPCO, 400 to 500 tons per day. And TEPCO lies. Lies. I've caught them in the middle of their lies. Right? So, this stuff right here is changing everything. It's hot water. It's in even the fog, and it gets absorbed into any organic creature's very skin, right? We have to get the warning out so that we can stop kidding ourselves about what the hell's going on and using their pre-made excuses for what's obviously affecting all human beings out there. I collect those obituaries, and the rollout of young folks dying right now is off the chart. I would think that if there are rappers being killed ritualistically, that is because they don't want it to shine too much how more of them are just suddenly dropping dead. So I'll leave a link to all the relevant articles so you can read them for yourself. I ain't make me. You made me. Okay? I come from a mighty, mighty people. And because of you, I am no ways tired. So I wrote these books because I recognize something so gigantic in the hands of what others will see as a housewife. And I had a wonderful sister. I've been having some conversations with beautiful queens who are just pondering the sanity of snapping out of the, swirling propaganda and expressing their frustrations, their difficulties in getting connected with the Black man. And I treasure those conversations because it's so beautiful. And the sister said that she didn't think that most women would be housewives. And I want to correct that. I don't mean that. I think also having your own income source is really vital in a relationship, though at the same time, it shouldn't be where it makes it easy for you to no longer keep working on staying together, okay? And to maybe be a little bit too aggressive. It's a whole lot of healing that both the Black man and the Black woman have to do, because my king, only steel can sharpen steel, and he came out and he put it down and he just said it's the Black man's fault because it's the men who are supposed to protect the nation. So I thought that was beautiful. But the sister said not every woman's going to be a housewife. I'm not really just a housewife. I am, as is prescribed in the Bible, where a good wife is more than capable of building and helping her community and being a real help to her husband and her people. And so when I recognized that could be held against me, I said, I got to get to work. I got to write, but I got to write for real, not for fake, not just to gain a little bit of coin. I have to be able to build on our behalf. My goal is to test our food for radiation. That's something we must do. Please do not glaze over. Hear what I'm saying. I pray you've listened to the whole video. All right, now I'll put that at the beginning because I didn't say that at the beginning. I need to be more humble and acknowledge I need you. I need your help. So go buy all my books. You can find them on 25,000yearcycle.net. Go to Amazon if you want a guarantee. If they don't get you your book, you contact them and they will get you your book. But at 25,000yearcycle.net, you're going to find it at a vastly discounted rate, and you'll be able to get this Black Nation as an ebook for $25. And you can get Furnace of Affliction as an ebook for $20. That's guaranteed delivery. Okay, no problem there whatsoever. All right? All right. Ooh. In case nobody has told you today, I love you. Straight Black family pride, and we are on our way to glory. Peace and blessing.